Audio.etc is proudly supported by Auto Sound and Security.
Centipede.
Going for it! Woo!
Centipede.
Good morning guys, how's it going? James here from Audio.etc. A sunny day on Monday morning and some stuff has arrived for the Audi and for the Corvette. So the carpet has finally arrived. I don't know whether it's just the couriers being slow as usual or if it was the suppliers maybe secretly forgetting to send it on the day that they said they would. But anyway, we just got the 2 meters of carpet that we needed so that it would match the amp rack. I think I'm probably going to focus on that today. I really wanted to get that Corvette done. Oh, you're in the sun. Really want to get that Corvette done ASAP so that I can, like, you know, call it done, you know, and then we can move on to working hardcore on the Audi. So that's here. Some stuff from Coaxial, so that will be the rear speakers for the Audi. It will be the, what else? Possibly some speaker cable and some RCAs. We got some stuff from our Rockford Fosgate supplier. I bet that's the subwoofer and amp, hopefully. And then that's from our supplier who does the fitting kits, so we should have the correct fitting kit now. I think what I should do is, I just want to like say a couple of things before I get into it, like maybe address some of the questions you guys were having on the last video that I uploaded, because when I was editing it, I was thinking to myself, man, I complain a lot, don't I? I don't dislike Audi or European cars, like, you know, like in general. I don't dislike them at all. I actually love them. I obviously prefer them. I think they're a really, really good car. Audi especially, like that. I think both me and Jess, out of like all the sort of European car brands out there, Audi is probably both of our favorites. The only thing I was trying to say the other day, because like, yeah, I love Audi. Like, they are very, very good engines, nice and fast, lovely interior, beautifully built, super, super quiet. Like, I love that they put so much effort into their sound deadening of the vehicle and not having rattles, you know, outside noise, road noise, all that stuff. Like one of you guys mentioned, yes, it's put together like that. That's why it doesn't rattle 2 years down the track. I 100% agree with you. They don't rattle 2 years down the track and they're awesome. I do love the cars, and Europeans all over, Volkswagens, Audis, Alfa Romeo, Maserati, just all those sort of European cars. They're lovely cars to own and drive. Only thing I was trying to say was that if any of you guys have ever had to work on one, like I do all the time, they're just a headache, an absolute headache and a half, because they're put together like a frickin' Chinese puzzle box. Getting them apart is tricky, because they, like, where do you start? Like, they're very tricky to get apart, and also just the way that they're held together, rather than doing what most Japanese brands do and using like plastic pops or clips, which like this sort of thing, like this sort of plastic pop, which would just pop in and out a million times. They use like metal and really, really heavy duty hardened screws, if you can find the screws. But the metal clips that they use, where's a good example? Like on the back of these things, like there's these metal clips here. It's not too bad if they've been out in and out a couple of times to get them out. Like, they're not too bad, they're just pretty hard. But if the metal clips in these sorts of cars have never been out before, man, you'll be spending half an hour just getting a panel off the car. So I just wanted to clarify, I am not having a go at the brand of car. I do love the cars, but these European cars are the headaches for me to have to work on, because everything is just put together so much more complex. And, well, I suppose the best word to describe it would be better. They're just put together better. And I guess you could say that because they're harder to get apart, that makes them put together better. They're just harder to work on. And I'm sure any of you guys who own one or have ever had to work on one of these cars before would agree with me. Oh, the other thing, I found the the other speaker ring thing that I need for the front woofer on the driver's side. As you know, you guys know, I used one of these on this woofer here to sandwich this cone into the pod. Found this one. It was the only one in this whole massive box of speaker ring adapters we got. So I'm glad I found that, because if I didn't find that, I don't know what I was going to do. It would have been something different on this side and something different on that side. But that's fortunate I found that one. But anyway, maybe today what I'll do for you guys, I'm probably not gonna film any actual work on the Audi today, but what I will film is some unboxing stuff, showing you what we've got in the post, and I'm gonna carpet the subwoofer box for the Corvette and stick it in. Yeah. Okay. This is the Coaxial stuff. So we got the PS130F, which is the 5 1/4 inch two-way component speakers for the back of that car, for the Audi. They don't look too bad, they'll work fine. What else we got? Some paper. We got 3 sets of Coaxial ER5. These are 5-meter 2-channel RCA cables, and I love the quality of them. They're really, really nice. Especially the heads on them. The heads are just beautiful, like, you know, gold plated and split pin and very, very heavy. Like, you can feel the weight of them. They're very nice. 1, 2, 3. These were actually the RCAs I was going to stick in my Legacy, but I found those monster ones, so they ended up being cheaper for me, so I went for them. And we got this big roll of cable haute Paleur Performance PSW 15, 154 meters of 15 gauge speaker wire. This will be good. I'll be able to use this on the Audi. Let's have a look-see here. See if I can get the end out. Ooh, it's flat. That's going to make it real easy for running. 15 gauge flat speaker wire. Nice. It's like actually really, really thin, but this way it's like wide. I like it. Feels very floppy and silicone as well, not plastic. Not what are most speaker wires, like cheap ones, wrapped in? Is it PVC? This feels like it's wrapped in like more silicone because it's floppier. 1.5 millimeters square. Doesn't say anything about how many individual strands there are. I know some of you guys would be interested in that, but I'm not sure if it says. Sorry. That's what we got from Coaxial. Here's the Rockford stuff. Whoa! What was that? Was that a crash? There's been a crash down the road, guys. Camper van and a big commercial ute thing just collided on the corner. Bit hard to see. Oh shit, it's a 3-way pile-up. Hey dude, car behind you. Sorry. No worries. All good. Hey bro, how are you? I'll let them turn, but they can't turn around and come through and go on this lane. Yeah. I'm trying to stop them from coming up. Yeah. And turn them around until they block that road off up the other way. That's what someone needs to do, is go up and block the road off, so they can't come down here. There's no way how they can't come on this side of the road, it's too dangerous. Yeah. So the road blocked off up there. Has someone called the cops? Yeah, we tried to call 911. Come on! Oh, it's in gear, is it? Yeah. Is it in gear? You alright? You saw? Yeah. Turn. I think he's got the wheel. Are you going to be able to stop it? Are we going up, are we? Ooh. Man, that was hectic. The police and the ambos and the fire have all arrived now, so they've got that all under control. They seem to have gotten traffic flowing north and south again. I'm not sure if they've opened up the Wordsworth Street east and west yet, but man, that was crazy. That's the first major crash we've seen on that corner by us. We hear a few almost crashes, like there's always a lot of skidding and almost crashes there, but that's the first major one we've seen between, I don't know what you would call that, it's like a commercial work ute and a SUV carrying a caravan. Anyway, that sucks for them. I hope they're all alright. I did speak to the driver of the ute and he didn't seem too badly injured, but he said he was sore and was in a wee bit of shock, I think, because he was struggling to speak a bit. But yeah, hopefully they're all good. Back to what I was doing. So I was unboxing the Rockford Fosgate stuff. Life must go on, unfortunately. Black glad wrap. White clear wrap. Okay, so, man, why is the box always tinted? So we've got a Rockford Fosgate T1000X5AD, 5-channel amp, 100 watts by 4 at 4 ohms, and 600 watts by 1 at 2/1 ohms. And we got our Rockford Fosgate T1 S1-10, 10-inch sub. So I have actually got the 12-inch version of this sub in my car. Man, this one's way lighter than mine. Jesus. To carry it one-handed. Okay, let's see if my idea is going to work. Yeah, man, a couple of donuts, and that's gonna mount like sort of down about there, firing upwards, I think. Unless I want to do it like that, I'd have to still make donuts, but I don't know. I think upwards would be cooler. I'll take this this trim ring that is on it will probably not get used, but that is probably going to sit approximately down about there. I think 18 mils in between the woofer and the tray. Yeah, so that's the plan with that. Just like that. Oh, okay, that's the other thing I wanted to talk to you guys about, because a lot of you were questioning, or just not having a go, but just, you know, asking about the asking about the way the subwoofer is going to be mounted and whether it's an infinite baffle and all that. Yes, technically I think it is an infinite baffle. No, the subwoofer is not recommended for that. But in New Zealand here, of the suppliers that we have, I don't know that there really are any manufacturers who make subwoofers for infinite baffles. There was one that we had a while ago. It was a JBL 8-inch subwoofer, but it was really, really deep, and he doesn't want a big fat magnet sticking out the bottom. So what I'm basically gonna do, guys, I'm just gonna have a go with this, mount it to the parcel tray, see what it sounds like. If he's not happy with the amount of bass that it's putting out, then obviously yes, the solution is just to put it in a box in some way, whether that just be a basic brick box, like just a box somewhere, or a custom one somehow in the side of the vehicle. But this is his first priority. If he can get it to work this way, his first choice, I mean, if he can get it to work this way and produce the amount of bass he wants, then he'll be happy. So yes, that's why I'm doing it on the subwoofer, on the parcel tray. No, it's not perfectly designed for it. I'm hoping that the trunk itself will act as a wee bit of a subwoofer box. That's the plan. Looks like they've got left turning traffic moving now as well, which is good. Rockford Fosgate quality seal of approval. There's the 5-channel amp. I hate it when the box is dented. So there's the Rockford stuff and the Coaxial stuff, and I'll just quickly check this should be the correct fitting kit for the car. That looks better. I'm sure it will be. There's only really 2 Audi A4 fitting kits. There's the wide one, which is what I got there, and this is the more narrow one. I'm not gonna bother checking that. I'll just bolt this onto the stereo and see if it fits better. I wonder if it mounts the same way. Okay guys, no dilly-dallying around. I want to get the sub box wrapped. Do it! So, I can't remember if I've actually said this in a video or not, but a lot of you have guessed it. Yes, I am only wrapping the top half of the subwoofer box, which is why I, put a bit more effort into painting the bottom half, and the top half is painted so that no MDF sections are shown through any gaps in the carpet. And what I want to do is do it in just one piece if I can, so it'll obviously be on the face, it'll wrap around all of the edges, wrap over this lip, wrap over this lip, all the way around here and to the what do you call this bit, the rabbit, where I carved that out so it's easier to cut the line. There will be a join, there will likely be a join on the back vertical edge here. You probably won't see it. And I think there will also, rather than having the join up here for this, since it goes from this face to this face, rather than having a join here where this piece continues on, I think what I want to do is have it wrap over this edge and wrap over this edge, since you'll see it, and then have a meeting join rather than a corner join, I don't know what you call it, going from this corner here on a 45 up to this corner. So I'll use my knife and go along that way, and then the 2 pieces of carpet will just meet in the middle. I think that if I can do it well, that will look better than having a join where 2 pieces of carpet meet here and here. That's what I want to do. I'm going to start, I think, by getting it attached to the bottom face here. So I'm going to use the contact adhesive, wrap this over, I'll get that stuck up there, I can roll it back over, make sure that the carpet is laid out dead straight and flat, and then I can spray the top of the box and the surface where it will go and roll it over, and then do the back and so on and so forth. So yeah, it's time to do it. Okay guys, the time lapse ran out just before I got finished, but the box is carpeted. Finally, a week later, after painting it, yeah, it's done. I got it all in pretty much, yeah, just one piece of carpet. So obviously you saw I did the underside, then I wrapped it over, did the top, the back, and wrapped it under again. And then this roll folds over here, and this is all one piece, but then there's a cut down there where this rolls over, so that 45-degree piece there is attached to the top, and then the whole side and this top surface and underneath there is attached to this corner, and then the same on the other side. So there's the only joins there are on the back corners here where you're not going to see them, and then 45-degree joins down there. You can probably see this one a bit better, maybe a wee bit more light. If I turn this, there's a join down there. It's not too bad, and down there. So that's what the top's looking like. I've already gone through and used the soldering iron to poke out my screw holes so they're easily visible, easy to find. The carpet stretched over these things pretty well. I'm actually really happy with how it turned out. Like, I feel like it's made them a bit more subtle. Before they were quite prominent and obvious, but now since it's like all black, it's kind of subtle. They look good. I like it. And I'll show you the bottom. So I did the underside pretty well. My first cut wasn't that great for some reason. Even though I had that rabbit along there, the knife just decided it was going to go off on a different direction, and I couldn't really tell that it wasn't still in the groove because it was cutting into the wood. So it's a good idea, but I don't know, maybe it's just my technique isn't that good. Anyway, it's not going to be visible, it's okay. But yeah, the rabbiting technique worked pretty well for most of the way around. Wraps underneath, hides the join. Nice. So now I can put this in the vet and then put the sub in. Oh, I need to do the connections. Actually, I might bring you guys over this side so you can see. So set this up here. Makes it a bit easier. And we plug in our subwoofer connections, like that, and the LED connections, just like that. And then we sort of stuff these all down here, and then shift this sideways until it slips in. Cool. It is in. Probably put these wee side trim things back on first, just to make sure they're still all good. No reason why they wouldn't be, but you know. One. This one doesn't stay all the way down very well. There we go. Two. Okay, sweet. So now I need to get my screws and the grill. Grill. Woofer screws, grill screws, drill with the bit. Oh, and I need to put some Dacron or something in here, don't I? I do need to put some polyfill in. Hang on. There we go. I'm not completely stuffing it like I have done some boxes in the past, like my 15s. I'm just putting in enough just to prevent, you know, the dead spots, just covering the walls, prevent back wave. Yeah, I'll give you a quick look. So there is just enough to go around all the sidewalls, the floors, you know, just enough, in my opinion. It's not completely stuffed like the P3 box that I did. Now the woofer, the woofer. Sweet, so now the next step is getting the grill wires wired up. So these have to go through this hole here and then solder them to these connections. There we go. I even heat shrunk them just for you guys, since you like that. Okay, so now next step is put the sub in. This rotates, comes around this way. Oh, idiot. Guys, I'm an idiot. I have to redo it again. Bugger, I didn't go through the hole that I intentionally made for them. There we go. Now we're good to put the sub in. Let's go down there, that bar, just like that. Now we put the sub in. Okay. Just like that. I think I've missed some of the screw holes with the soldering iron. Yeah, there is. Where's that? Okay, now we're good. We'll get there eventually, guys. We'll get there. Okay, now we can put the sub back in again. One more time. One more time. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 12. Okay, need to get a better bit for drilling those in because the bits that come with these subwoofers are pretty cheap ones. They're just like steel ones. I need to use one of these hardened steel ones. They break pretty easily, is basically what I'm saying. I'm going to use one of these. Okay, that's those ones in. Now this needs a clean. First get rid of the dust. So much dust around that it's just hard to get it all off. It doesn't move. Well, I'll put some silicone on it. This just makes the woofer look a bit shiny and nice. Just dusting, you know. And you wipe it around like that. There we go. She's looking all shiny now. One last attempt to get rid of all the center dust. There we go, looking good. Now the grill has the other side. Okay, so now we just poke all this wire through. Sweet, the sub is finally in. Done. I can vacuum the box. It's got a whole bunch of shit on it now, but that can be vacuumed. Fire it up and make sure it still goes.
To give us a call beforehand, we'll make sure to put you on our.
There you go, guys. Trunk layout officially complete. 100% done. I'm gonna do a bump test. So I'll, where's my, oh, my phone's through here. I need to somehow record a session on my phone because I know what you guys want to hear. How could I do that? I could put a song from my iTunes onto a memory stick. So, sub's warm. Time for a secondary test. Now, I know what sort of sound you guys are going to want to hear, but it's not going to sound like that on the GoPro. The GoPro, when it detects SPL, it will just attenuate it, so it's just going to make it sound quieter. It'll probably sound decent if you are listening through a proper sound system or through headphones, but if you're just listening off your phone or device, it's not going to sound bassy at all. I had a look on my computer to see if I have any actual music files I could put on a memory stick, because when I record with my phone you get that distorty effect, but of course all my music's on my phone and you can't record a video whilst you are playing music. And the only song I had on my computer here is Blind Faith by Chase and Status, so I can play that and we'll see what it sounds like listening through the phone, see if it's bassy, but I don't know it's going to be quite as heavy as some of the other songs I would have on my phone, so we'll listen to those first. Let's find a song. So we'll do Centipede, because that sounded real frickin' bassy when I was doing it in my Lignum way back in the day. Here we go. This is going to be a heavy test.
Share their territories with tarantulas. Centipede.
Whoa! Whoa! Holy crap! Going for it! Woo!
Centipede.
Woo!
Oh yes! Woo! That sounds so good. This song has the meanest drop. You ready for it? Here we go. Here comes the drop. Ready?
Centipede.
Too long. Don't give it a chance to cool down, James. Give it a chance. Whoa! That sub goes good. I think after doing like 2.5 days of running that sub in, because I've been just having that sub going non-stop for almost, not overnight, just during the day while I'm at work, running in at a medium-ish volume, getting it to loosen up on the radio, and I think that's definitely helped. It's way looser now than what it was when I did the first test in the box initially. That sounds so good. Let's try find a bassy song that's just a little bit less abusive on the speakers, because that's quite a, I'm not going to say distorted, but it's a heavy and mid-range song as well, so it's quite sharp. Let's find something that's got a lot of low end and not much high. Handlebars song. Okay, this is a remix. This has got a really low end intro. So loose now, that's awesome. The song, I mean, I only really like the intro of that song. I don't like this old 90s dub, not 90s, I don't like this old 2000s dubstep. It's a wee bit wobbly. I just like the intro because it's so low. Let's try something with a bit more beat to it, like a sort of a hip hop song. We're gonna do the Harlem Shake real quick. This is all over, I don't know what this sound like to the GoPro, but it's so heavy in here.
Do the Harlem Shake.
Let's try this one. This one's pretty quick. This, by the way, is with the subwoofer volume on the head unit on 10 out of 15. I set it up so that I set the gains up on the amp so that the subwoofer volume on the head unit output can be adjusted a wee bit. 10 was the final point before it distorted on the output side, so it distorts at 11 but not at 10, so it's clean. But I did that so that he's got a width, he can go up it, he can turn the sub down a lot if he wants, and if he really wants to, you know, get nasty and abuse the sub, he can turn up a wee bit more as well. But that's up to him. Let me see what Blind Faith is going to sound like on here first from my phone, so I know if it's going to be a bassy song or not. That sounds good. Let's play it off the memory stick. Okay, this is off the USB. Start recording on my phone. See how this sounds. Okay, this is recording on the phone as well. So this will be the audio from the phone, because I know the phone's going to do this distorty thing that you guys probably want to hear. I feel like the USB version of that song, there was less bassy for some reason. That's weird. Huh. More prominent on Bluetooth. I really need to bring in some CDs or something. Oh no, I can't play CDs. I need to put some music on a memory stick from like my computer at home, since this one out here is buggering up.
20 minutes later.
Okay, I figured out the iTunes issue I was having. I've got some more music on my memory stick now, so we can listen to the difference between. I'm gonna use the audio from the iPhone and insert it, and you guys will hopefully hear that distorting sound you guys are probably wanting to hear. We'll see if we can get that going. USB, browse, search, folder. Start with Centipede. Okay, here we go. Subwoofer is on 10 out of 15.
Despite its impressive length, it's a nimble navigator. Centipede. Centipede.
That's such a loud system, I can't even comprehend that. I guess it's because I'm in a coupe. I don't know which camera to look at now, do I? Crazy. What's this? Spaghetti Monster.
Spaghetti.
This is a pretty bass heavy song.
Zero atmosphere. Pressurized.
Unidentified craft. State your purpose and content.
Nice. That sounds good.
Shake my ass.
Still really well did it. Like, something around here is rattling. This windscreen is rattling like crazy.
It is tuned into the cosmic rhythms.
Warm but not hot. Not even warm. Honestly, like, even with the subwoofer on 0, it's still bassy as. That's good. It means he can have the bass up high when he's listening at low volumes and have it turned down when he's listening at high volumes. And that's all the songs, guys. I just put a handful on my USB to test them so you guys could hear what it was sounding like on the phone, because I'm pretty sure the phone will be sounding all Steve Meady. On the GoPro, obviously it just kind of attenuates it, but it still sounds clean. Does that on purpose.
If your ass ain't shaking, then there's not enough bass.
Different parts of the car vibrate.
Yo, check. Yo, bitch, we keep it cutthroat, choking on the gun smoke, 6-shot revolver, Russian roulette, certified pros, man, you fucking with some vets. Give my respect when I walk in the room. Hoes go nuts when the bass goes boom. Stepping up, basically, homie, that's suicide. We hustle hard and mash it out until the day we die. Super fly, super fresh, wild, wild west.
Yep, that's all the songs, guys. Turn her off. Let them cool down, let's have a feel. Okay, the 4 channel, yes, the 4 channel is warm, the heatsink is warm, but definitely not hot. The monoblock heatsink's actually a wee bit cooler. Well, the good news is, neither of those heatsinks are anywhere near remotely too hot to touch, which means that they're not anywhere near remotely hot enough to be melting the carpet that's touching them. And that was probably a good long half an hour of like heavy listening and output. So I'd say, that being said, that those amps are really good. Very efficient. Very little heat being given off considering the amount of power that they're putting out. Awesome. Hopefully that all sounded good for you guys. It sounds so amazing in here, like beyond, like, amazing. It sounds amazing. Oh, I want to know what it sounds like with the roof in the back. 1 second. Let's see. I'll put the roof in the back and then we'll do one song. We'll do Centipede to compare and see what it sounds like with the roof in the back. A lot of you were saying, man, that's gonna sound shit with the roof in the back. Yeah, well, that's not the point. The point isn't to get perfect sound with the roof right over top of the subwoofer. The point is to get a super loud system. Either way. Okay, now lift up the front first. I think it's easy with my feet out of the car. And then it comes forward. Like that. And then come out here, lower it down. Line those up there. That sits down on that ledge and then you go lock, lock, and now it doesn't come out. Close the lid up again. So obviously this setup, it's not, I don't know if it'll be anywhere near as bassy, A, because you're covering the sub, and B, we've taken the roof off, so there's no more, we're no longer in an enclosed system. One more burst, and we'll see what it sounds like.
Territories with tarantulas.
Subwoofer is on 10.
Despite its impressive length, its centipede.
Still bassy as, I'll prove it to you. It's still really bassy.
Centipede.
Amazing! It's actually still really, really bassy. Bass goes through things. I mean, everyone was saying, yeah, it's gonna be real quiet with the roof sitting on top of it, but I don't know. It's actually still really, really bassy. It doesn't feel as loud. I think having the roof missing above you, it definitely takes away from that, from you being in the enclosure a wee bit. But the actual bass output of the box is still very, very high, even with that roof sitting above it. Incredible. Alright, that's it for the test. Okay, there we go guys. It's finally done. The Corvette is officially 100% finished. I had another play with the tuning settings on the stereo, and what did I do? I changed the time alignment a wee bit, because I did a tuning a while ago and a lot of you guys put up things saying that I had done it wrong, that I had done it kind of back to front, where as opposed to inputting the measurements that you just simply take, you have to do a bunch of calculations first. And so what I actually did was, I can't remember who it was, sorry, but one of you commented, try this, and you gave me all the different measurements on that last tuning video, and I put them in and it worked. It sounds good. I'm not sure how much better it sounds. It's actually really hard to tell, because both of them, the way I did it and the way you suggested, sound better than with them just set to off or factory, you know, flat. But I think your tuning definitely did sound a wee bit better than mine, so I've left it with that. I've saved the tuning, it's in the phone, so I can, you know, reload it if it ever gets lost by some chance. But yeah, the Corvette is officially 100% done, guys. Stoked. I'm starting to pack up now early because I got a few cars to get in overnight, so I have to do that. But yeah, let me give you one last final rundown on this car, guys, because it's been here a long time and it's been a really fun project. I couldn't be happier with how it's turned out, I don't think. So, we'll turn it on so you can see. So, controlling everything, we've got the Alpine UTE 62 EBT, which is micless, no CD player, but it's got Bluetooth for hands-free and for music, USB input, auxiliary and radio, and it's also got all of the Alpine's current best sound settings and componentry in it. So high voltage outputs, 24-bit DAC or 28-bit DAC, I think it might be, plays FLAC files. It's like a high quality audio output device that doesn't play CDs. That's the only thing it doesn't do, which is fine because he doesn't have CDs, he says. So that, by the way, I changed the colors a wee bit. Maybe you guys like them, I'm not sure. I changed it to yellow and then left the screen that light blue. That light blue matches the heater display color, which is why I went for that. But I thought a bit of yellow in there might add to it since there's yellow LEDs back here. So that's that. In the front doors, we've got Rockford Fosgate T16-S in the factory location with the woofer down here and the tweeter up on a pod up there. You can just see the chrome ring of the tweeter through there. That's because if you didn't see the video, you can actually kind of see the line there. There's normally a piece of paper behind here which allows sound through but doesn't allow light out, so you can't really see. But I cut a small section out of it so that, see, if I just turn my light around, you can't see the paper, but you can see that really nice little hint of that chrome ring through there. And so it's the 6.5 there and the tweeter there, firing on an angle, by the way. It's not just firing straight out, it's actually on a pod coming up this direction so that it faces the driver better. And those are on custom pods. I'll stick a picture up because I'm pretty sure I took pictures. By the way, the doors have also been fully sound deadened with Coaxial BAM on the outer skin and Dynamat on the inner skin, and I made a custom panel thing up to seal up a great big service gap that was here. And I did that for both doors. In the back, we've got Rockford Fosgate T16 coaxial speakers. And these ones, I actually just took the paper completely out. So you can pretty much see everything there with the torch on, but if I turn the torch off, you can just see a hint of reflection from the gloss cone, and you can see the silver dome tweeter in there as well. So I think it looks a wee bit better. So that's what's in the back. I also stuffed those cavities with a wee bit of Dacron as well to make the speaker feel like it's a slightly bigger enclosure than it is, because they are very tight enclosures. And then coming to the fun part, in the back here, we've got Rockford Fosgate T1000-1 BD CP. It doesn't say CP on it, but it is a constant power version. It's the more recent one. So it is a BD CP. And then that's powering the subwoofer. And the Rockford Fosgate T6000-4 powering the 4 sets of speakers. The gains on them have been tuned by the SMD DD1 that was kindly lent to me by a supporter of mine, Simon Wright. So thanks again for that, Simon. They came in real handy. The crossovers have been left completely open because I use the built-in crossovers on the head unit. I prefer to have that adjustability where you can adjust it on the fly. And someone asked, why didn't you just high pass them a wee bit so that they're protected? Because, you know, what can happen down the track is, A, if he ever takes the subwoofer out, or if he blows the subwoofer, because let's face it, it's a very real possibility. It's good to be able to have a set of, you know, front and rear speakers that can go full range so that you're not cutting anything off. And I prefer, I don't know, I always just like to use built-in adjustable active settings rather than analog tuning pots. Regardless of how good the CC1 from SMD is, I'd rather just, or how good the tuning pots are, I'd just rather use a built-in digital one. So that's the amps. The crossovers for the front doors are mounted here in the middle between the two amps. We've got a nice little plaque there that says installed by Team Auto Sound. That's us. Just a wee bit of, what would be the word, just plugging our business a wee bit there. If anyone ever sees this, we want to know that it was us, because that might make them come to us. You can already see them. There's some yellow LED strips behind both of the amps. This is a custom amp rack. And then we got the Rockford Fosgate T1 D2-12. So it's a 12-inch subwoofer, dual 2-ohm voice coils, making it a 1-ohm load on the 1000-watt amp. And this is a custom box that I built. And I built this to the specification, A, to fill in the gap at the bottom. I know these Corvettes very often have a subwoofer put in the back here, but they have it down flat level with the floor. This subwoofer is so big that just wasn't going to be possible. There isn't enough depth, and so I built it up on this angle. And this was actually his design a wee bit. I did all the figuring out and the design and stuff, but he originally pitched to me the idea of having it up on an angle so that it would come up, have as much airspace as physically possible, whilst still being able to fit the removable roof, which normally goes here. So that comes out and goes in the back here, and it has the two mounting points there and there. So you put 1 foot there, 1 foot there, and then it rests down with about 1 centimeter of clearance above the subwoofer grill. You can see where it sits just here, and then you go like this, and then that locks into it and stops it from flying up. And it does fit, and I know that for a fact because I took pictures. And that is everything. Up the front, that's all the sound gear. Up the front, I installed an Optima yellow top. This is a D34/78 spiral gel cell battery. Spiral cell gel battery. Right, sorry, I can't remember what I was saying or where I was up to, but it's an Optima D34/78 yellow top spiral gel cell battery. These are awesome batteries. Doug Bernards uses them, you know, Soundman, he uses it in his Mule. I'm not sure if he's put any others in his other cars, but I'm sure that he'd, you know, attest that they're awesome batteries, especially for deep cycling. The great thing about them is that you can, they've got huge outputs, so they're great for car audio. Like if you want to run an amplified system without the car running for a long time, you can do that. These will put out heaps of snot. The other great thing is, once you've done that, if you've run the battery completely like 100% flat, you can charge it back up. And you might be able to say that about most batteries, but most regular lead acid batteries don't like being deep cycled. If you let it go really, really flat and charge it back up, chances are it's been damaged by going that low, and all you really get after that is what's called a surface charge. But these, you can deep cycle over and over and over again, 0 to 100, 100 to 0, 0 to 100, over and again, and they keep working like new. You know, they don't. Have you ever, if any of you guys, you must know what I mean when I say you only get a surface charge. It's where your battery is reading 12 volts or 14 volts at idle, but then it goes flat really easily. That's what it is. Whereas these don't do that. These last a long time. So that, very awesome battery. Rockford Fosgate, what are these? RFDB4 battery terminals. Just 2 4 gauges coming out of each of them. And then down there, so there's the factory car terminals go on the front there, because this battery has dual terminals. So you got the factory car terminals, the positive and negative that screw in the front with those weird imperial bolts. And then the standard, I forget what they're called, but like the lead posts on the top of the batteries with the Rockford terminals. And these terminals only supply the amps. So the positive, both 2 4 gauges comes out around the factory fuse holder through a T-spec triple fuse holder. We didn't have any double ones in stock at the time, and neither did our suppliers, so this one is ideal. It feeds 2 fuses at this stage, an 80 amp for the 4 channel and 150 amp for the mono block. And then there's a third spot there for anything extra if something gets added on later down the track, like maybe, who knows, like a horn system or lights, could be anything. So that's that. This does still come off. You can still take the factory cover on and off. I made sure of that when doing those wires. Bottom. Put it back down. And then because this car has got a fiberglass body and very little steel throughout it. Oh, and also because, so I don't know if you guys know this, but I figured it out when I was looking under the car. This car is actually assembled in like 3 parts when I'm talking about the chassis rail. So you've got like the bonnet and engine bay chassis rails, which come up around here. Then there's actually a joint or a connection where more underbody rails like bolt on around here. And I think there's like one, there's like down the middle here, down that side. In fact, yeah, I think it's just along the floor. There's just a piece of steel there, a piece of steel there, and then they bolt. Now those pieces are also connected to this over the top, which has got steel in it, it's structural, and then across the center behind the seats there is a structural beam made of steel as well. And then the trunk has got 2 more extended bits of rail bolted on. So it's not really a consistent earth the whole way through. It's not that great. There's like no earthed body. So that's why I ran 2 4-gauge negatives and 2 4-gauge positives all the way to the back where the amp is. So each amp, its positive wire goes to the battery and the negative wire also goes to the battery. So they're very well supplied. And I think that's everything up under the front. Talked about the battery, the fuse holder, the wiring, all of it going back. The RCAs going between the head unit and the amps are RFIT-10s, so that's the Rockford Fosgate. The best ones, they do 10-foot 2-channel RCAs. There's 3 sets of them, obviously, front, rear and sub, and they're braided. The word a braided RCA, and then I plaited them and ran them down the center and over the top to the amps. And then we've also got speaker wires going direct from the amplifiers out to the woofer, tweeter and rear speakers. So it's all new wiring. And then it's got 10-gauge subwoofer wire going from the from the monoblock to the sub. Just goes behind the carpet, underneath here, ducks down into the bottom of the subwoofer, and the LEDs ran down there as well. The LEDs turn on and off with a relay, which is hidden in behind the amp rack. So the remote wire from the head unit engages the relay, which lets power through to the LEDs. And I think, if I get this right, that is everything I've done to this car. Everything. The reversing camera was already on there. That's not my install. It's there he is. It's not the best mount. No, it's a bit loose, isn't it? It's not the best reversing camera, and it's not mounted in the best place. But here's what it looks like anyway. So you just go in reverse, then it comes up there in that little screen. I suppose it's not too bad. The only thing is you don't know where the back of the car is. There's like no reference, no toe ball or bumper or anything to know where you are. But I guess it's because it's such a long car and you're sitting down so low that it's good to know there's anything behind you. And yeah, I think that is 100% everything that I've done to the car. Here's what it sounds like. Let's connect my battery charger, because my battery charger is a cheap one and I don't know if it likes being connected to a car when it starts. Our work battery charger is a big one that can handle it, but this is actually my personal one that I brought from home just to keep this battery topped up while I'm testing it. Oh man, there's some heat coming off it. It's been working for a while, non-stop for a few days, keeping the battery topped up while I run the sub in. To be in park for it to start. Yeah, it's got a bit of a whistle. There's no alternator whine when you're listening to music, so that's good. I smell fuel. This car hasn't been started in a while. Yeah. Fuely. Yep. Smells like fuel. Guzzler. I'm just gonna put the battery charger back on for one more night. By the way, because the reason we use my one and not the work one is because the work one is unregulated, so it will just force current through whatever it is, whereas my one is regulated. I can set it to trickle charge at 2 amps. But we can't use our work battery charger overnight because it'll just keep pumping current through regardless. And that's not good for batteries. That's a good way to kill batteries. The last thing you want to do before the customer's even had a chance to use it is fry a $800 battery. A lot of you, I think, get a wee bit surprised when I say how much things cost the customers here. It's New Zealand, remember. Shit's expensive. We're at the bottom of the world, so most of it goes to import charges, I think. People who import it have to then whack dollars and zeros on the end of the number just to make a margin because they pay so much for import charges. But yeah, that's why things are expensive in New Zealand. So yeah, that is the car, guys. Done. I already showed you how the roof goes in, but I'll show you once more. You get yourself a roof. Lift it over the subwoofer, down to there, and then you line up those pegs there, those feet things, in the rubberized holes of these things, and then it comes down. You can see where it sits, and then you just go like that, that. Now it won't come out. And then you go like this. Done. So there's my very long outro, guys. I've shown you everything that I've done with this Corvette. It's 100% officially done, and it sounds awesome. Just quickly before I go, so you guys know, yep, tomorrow I'll be continuing the Audi and all week pretty much. After speaking to Pat, sounds like he's gonna make a real effort not to book and stuff for me to do so that I can get this thing done. I haven't done anything today except mount the stereo in the new proper fitting kit. And what I do, I put the tweeter in here with a bead of silicone around it in the factory location, so that's going to dry overnight. And I've been looking at places I could put the crossover, and I think down in this space looks like the best to me. I just need to power file the side of that plastic there a wee bit just so that this can fit in, because it just doesn't quite sit flat yet. It almost fits. It's like tiny amount that needs filing. But that's what I'll be doing tomorrow. I want to finish off the front speakers tomorrow if I can. Start on the rear speakers, which, by the way, you would have seen this at the beginning of the video, but they're the PS130F 5¼ inch flex components. There's the RCAs, the ER5s, and I'm definitely going to be using some of this Coaxial 15 gauge speaker cable. So yeah, that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this playlist with the Corvette. If there's anything you want to rewatch, I'm going to stick the playlist for this Corvette. Must be getting up a few videos now at the end of this video. Check it out if there's anything you missed. Thank you guys so much for watching. Choose to be happy, and I will catch you tomorrow. Corvette Ano.
Centipede.